Well, good morning, Codger Biker here. It's bloody freezing. Still, my new handguards are making my fingers toasty. It's true. But first, bar ends. Had to get them out. So how did I do that? So a lot of people I've seen on the old YouTubes are hammering and banging out their bar ends, breaking them off, saying, oh, I don't need those anymore, I can just smash them. Well, wasn't for me that. Well, that's not my style really. I don't like hammering and banging on bikes unless you have to. So I decided to try a gentler way. This is how it went. Okay, so here are the bar end weights after I've taken them out. And first thing to mention is no point in undoing this screw here. It's very tight, it's probably red thread locked in, very difficult to get out. You will damage this weight here, the whole thing rotates. And it doesn't really help you, because if you look, the way these are held in, there's a hole in the handlebars. This is an old MZ handlebar, but it's a similar idea. There's a hole in the handlebar, and that catch locates in that hole to stop it from coming out or moving. So the trick to getting these out really is getting access to these levers. If you can push them in either from the end there, or better still where they locate there, then you can, if you can get enough pressure, you can sort of pull out the top, then do the bottom one, pull that one that way, and then the whole thing should in theory come out. And you'll probably end up leaving these rubbers inside, as you'll see. Well, these are easily damaged, so I've got to roll this back somehow. It's glued there so that I can release these bar weights. So by working a Allen key around inside, just to get the glue loose without scratching this if possible. That's my aim. Well, there is glue on it, and my hope is then if I can get the glue loose enough, I can then peel this back. That's one, I think. I've actually got one of the lugs there, look. Just can't quite see what's under there. There you go. So having released the lug, these things, top and bottom, it should pull out without any damage at all. Now I know there's a rubber bung on the end of that, so that stayed in there. So I used no force on that whatsoever, just gently pushed that and then was able to press them in. I think there's a piece of rubber in there, I can feel it. So more rubber in there, yeah. I just hope it doesn't create bar vibrations, because these were put in there by Honda for a reason. Keyhole surgery. I've actually pushed that in now, I should have done that. Silly. Hooray! So this piece of rubber goes on the end. Not difficult, and all I used was a 3mm Allen key and made sure that I wasn't levering against this because it would scratch it, so I just kept it off there. There's a white throttle, probably won't be able to see that, but there's a white throttle tube in there, so we need to be able to get underneath that. Right, well, I'm going to do it properly, so loosen this, see if we can slide that far enough to get at them. Okay, I'm just going to take some photographs of where it all was. Well, it's obvious, you can never be too careful. So with all these screws, they so easily mark up. This is a JIS screwdriver. Don't know whether they still use JIS or not. That's bits, loose ends, one there, two. Whether they're JIS or Phillips, I don't know, but I'm using a JIS screwdriver. Yeah, that's actually slid quite easily once that's loosened. That might be enough. Flat blade screwdriver, a torch. There you can see that that's revealed the edge of that clip here. So if I can push that down with the screwdriver, do the top and then the bottom, I might be able to pull the whole thing out. The other thing is I can't see very well. But yeah, that'd be neat if that works, wouldn't it? Pull. That might be enough to release the top one. And same in the bottom. If I could see. Pull. Pull. On the top. No force, thank you. There you go. That's released it. No force at all. No force on that. It has scratched a little bit there where the screwdriver's gone on it, but I've just pushed the edge of that clip. Now let's see if I can get the whole thing out with the rubber as well. Failed with the rubber last time. I feel the rubber coming off. Yeah, the rubber comes off. So if you can see in there, there it is. I'll fish that out. Fish the rubber out. So, no hammering, no bashing. He says smug. Oh, I've been dreading doing that, to be honest with you. I'm just relieved. I'm not smug. So I've got those out without damaging it really in the slightest. You don't have to hammer. You don't have to go at it like a lunatic. Just a bit of thought. So you need to be very careful putting this back together, that you make sure these seams are lined up before you start tightening anything, because it's just plastic and it's easy to think you've tightened it up. So I discovered was, if you take that too far that way and try to tighten these up, they won't tighten up, probably due to the taper of the bar. So you need to, it clicks where it fits. You can't have it too far that way and tighten it up. So just be aware. Oh, and as I keep getting asked, that's a 28cm spoiler from eBay. It was 12 quid delivered. There's no point in giving you a link, because the link in your country will probably be different to here. Just look on eBay, motorcycle spoiler, and that's a 28cm one. It seems to fit well. Works quite well too for that price. Don't really like them because they if you're not careful, mark the screen. You have to watch out for the rubber bits, but anyway, what it is what it is. So that's how I got my bar ends out. Glad to be rid of them, but a bit concerned I might end up with more vibrations in the hands. I mean, Honda knew what they were doing putting them in there, presumably. Although having said that, have you seen their MotoGP lately? So it's still early days on this bike for vibrations, and the only vibrations I'd noticed on it particularly were through the foot peg, the right foot peg, about 4,500 revs. But since I've taken out the bar weights, I'm now going to go along this 70-mile-an-hour piece of road and see whether I can detect any more vibrations in the handlebars, because they were pretty good before. I hope I haven't spoilt it. There are bar weights on these as well, so let's see how it goes. But somebody told me that these bikes get smoother the further you go, and after 5,000 miles is when you really know whether they're smooth or not. So I'm on 635 miles, just had the first service. So barely running. So I would suggest, or Fiat say, that at about 60 miles an hour in 6 I can feel some vibrations already through the handlebars. Not bad. They are definitely there. Not enough to put me off the bike in any way, shape or form, but probably just a change of resonance. We can get up to 70. I think we go through the other side of it. It just seems to be about 64 miles an hour with the SW Motec handguards on. Get to 70, it's pretty much gone. So just keep an eye on that and see how it goes. But yeah, 64 miles an hour, I can feel vibes in the handguard, and that's I think is different from the other day when the bar end weights were in. So that is one thing to be aware of if you're going to take your bar end weights out. Don't ride at 64 miles an hour for very long. On that note, Codger Biker is out. Of course, that may change as the engine is bedding in ever more. We shall see.